Okay, in this video it is my feeble attempt to bring out or to bring over a form of enthusiasm about the internet and computers that is totally unmatched. So when you truly recognize how powerful the entry of computers and the internet has been and is, you have to understand a few revolutionary moments in time. So to listen to the answers of, for example, Steve Jobs when he was asked why the machine, the internet, or the computer was so influential, he gave several answers, and one of the answers he gave was that we have to realize that the computer revolutionized our existence in three different steps. And the first big revolution was in approximately 1977 when a person named Dan Veilstra created a software program in where he could create a spreadsheet. So the calculus and calculating became visible, and we were able to create spreadsheets on computers. That was one of the biggest revolutions. So a computer then was able to calculate in the form of a spreadsheet for us. That was the first big revolution. It replaced the mind calculations and the difficult ways of finding out calculations in a big way and put them in order on a spreadsheet for us to observe and to work with. So that's the first big revolution, 1977, a software program which made visual calculation and later also became the software program VisiCal from visual calculation. The second big revolution occurred, and that first revolution was the reason why IBM PCs came on the market. So hardware IBM PCs came on the market because of the software spreadsheet possibilities that made it possible to calculate. First revolution. Second big revolution, 1985 roughly, desktop publishing, when they created software programs to replace typesetting and printers. It became desktop publishing. That's the second big revolution. And then the hardware Macintosh, the Macintosh came on the market. With laser writer printers, you were able then to be your own typesetter and your own printer. And obviously the big difference Steve Jobs made was making beautiful fonts and wonderful interface programs in order to become a desktop publisher. Yeehaw! I remember that time, my first Macintosh and my first laser printer. I'll never forget, actually. It was a wonderful time. You truly felt like you were able to publish your own magazines and your own graphics and so on and so forth. It totally revolutionized my companies as well, and I was able to do my own advertising and my own publication and whatever. Felt like a god. That was the second revolution. So first spreadsheet, second desktop publishing. The third revolution came in about 1990 when they started asking themselves, how can we use it in order to have different people working on the same time via networking. Now, networking was already done in companies or organizations like NASA and higher educational forms, but to bring it to the people, to make so the first two revolutions was solo, was really something for yourself. It was personal computing, but networking made it what they called interpersonal computing. It was basically then possible to have clusters of people working on the same project anywhere around the world, any time of the day. And that was the third big revolution that made Macintosh and Apple and Steve Jobs as big as we know them to be. So before we had to reorganize whole companies, whole management structures, hire and fire people and set up offices worldwide in different cities. And now with the third revolution, you were able to work on the same project creating companies in no time, and also creating projects when they were necessary and letting them disappear when they were finished or when they were done. So within a couple of minutes you were able to change the company or to change the project worldwide with a lot of people together working on the same project. So it really was not necessary anymore to have brick and mortar businesses, and it was not necessary anymore to hire or fire people. It was a conglomerate and a cooperation between people that were able to do networking, or with other words interpersonal computing, with electronics, and be able to keep up with the fast pace of business development. That was the third big revolution. So, knowing all of that, what's next? When you truly recognize that in a short period from 1976-77 to now 2013, these three huge revolutions have taken place, and you're an entrepreneur and you're waiting for the next wave, I think I know, and we know, the next wave. And that's not desktop publishing anymore, but that's dashboard publishing. It's a new word. I hope I invented it myself. I will do everything necessary to register the right domain names and to make sure I look after our own company and after my own interests first. But the fourth wave is absolutely dashboard publishing. You see it in mini form already. YouTube, for example, is able to do a button underneath called share, and in no time you have a whole dashboard in front of you, and you can share your messages, videos and personal branding with just a click of a button, and you share it with social media. But you see more and more dashboards being created that a single person is doing multi marketing aspects on and offline at the same time. So the fourth stage is absolutely dashboard publishing. I've created a software program for that called the AutoScript. It's absolutely revolutionary, and it's absolutely mind-blowing, universal, and it can go all the way. It's open and closed source at the same time. It has affiliation, joint venture parties and deals and opportunities, and it is literally made to be very versatile, and it's also just one part of a 6-planet part software program that will absolutely blow your mind. So when you are looking for the fourth wave, for the fourth revolution, when you're interested, leave your email address underneath here so I can send different videos and different communication and information for you to be part of this fourth revolution wave. And I look forward to other people that think alike to help us and create some sort of a new fourth revolution wave in where we can literally build the next tool, which is called dashboard publishing, together, and not in a competitive way or some sort of old-fashioned structure. So that's my message. I'm also going to shoot this video in Dutch to the best of my ability, and it is very interested to realize that when you look at humans and animals and the whole nature, and you start looking for the one species who is the absolute fastest to go from A to B, it's the condor. It's the top of the line, top of the list of creatures that can create situations the fastest from point A to B. But and the human being, the human species, end up somewhere in the middle of this large list, way behind the condor. But when you do the same comparison with the human being being able to create a bicycle and use a tool, then all of a sudden the condor goes on the bottom of, or way down the list, and the human being is absolutely first and the top of the food chain, so to speak. So the human ability to create tools that are able to fulfill our shortcomings is unsurpassed, and that's the magic that we humans have over animals, plants and minerals. So that is a bit more philosophical, but I thought I added it in. It made the difference for Steve Jobs absolutely all the way. It was an article in some sort of a magazine that he read, and that changed his whole life, and from where this revolutionary software and hardware development came. The interview in which all of this was said, I add down the video as well. It's a link to an interview on YouTube, and it's called Steve Jobs Lost Interviews 1990, a must-watch for any entrepreneur. That's the title. An entrepreneur was spelled wrongly, but that doesn't matter. So thank you, Steve Jobs, late Steve Jobs. Thank you for anyone that was interviewing him at that time. Magic interview. It inspired me to make this video and to inspire others, hopefully, to come on board the fourth revolution and to make this world an absolutely fantastic place to live in. Thank you for listening, watching. Please open the share button underneath this YouTube video to press all the social media buttons, share, like, join and leave your email address so we can keep you up to date with this fourth wave revolutionary software time period era we live in. I'll see you soon.